welcome to another Horror Review Sunday. This week, my Patreon selected Starry Eyes review. This came out in 2014 and is written and directed by the guys who would go on to make the Pet Sematary remake. Although this is Pennywise as a cat, not the Pet Sematary remake, but whatever. So, this movie tells a story about a starving artist, someone who wants to become a famous actress, so she's constantly, doing auditions and getting rejected. She has an acting coach. She works a dead-end job 6 days a week at a Hooters knockoff place. She can't stand her job. She doesn't really like her friends that much. She's just kind of tolerating them. She feels like they might be, bringing her down. They're holding her back. And she finally gets an opportunity, the opportunity of a lifetime. But she's going to have to make some sacrifices to get to her ultimate goal of fame. Going into the positives for this movie is the character Sarah Walker and the actress that plays her. So this movie is focused on this character from beginning to end, and this actress sells it every scene that she's in. All the emotions, all the subtleties of her performance, and even some other people too. It's just very well directed. This woman is very well directed, and she's a tremendous actress. She's phenomenal. She really makes this movie what it is. She carries the film. The movie does a very good job of getting you to sympathize with her, to understand where she's coming from, who she is, who her friends are, her situation, how she feels about work, and how she feels about acting, how dedicated she is. It really just puts you into her shoes, in the shoes of this type of person who's in Hollywood and is a starving artist, and what that life is like. I like that this movie has something to say. It's not a paint-by-numbers movie at all. It's unique as hell. It's a movie about commitment and dedication and sacrifice and what it takes to make it in Hollywood, the things that you're going to have to do. It shines a light on the ugliness, the ugly side of Hollywood, the casting couch, and it has intriguing things throughout. They really just get you engaged. You're wondering where this is leading. The kills are vicious, incredibly bloody, and yet grounded. It's not unrealistic, but it's very bloody. The deaths are very mean-spirited. One in particular is just fantastic when you see it. It's top 100 kills of all time. I love it. I also really like the score. Again, unique, kind of 80s sounding, something kind of reminiscent of the score in not the Psycho remake, but the Maniac remake. Kind of adds a layer of eeriness to the film, an ominous presence. And lastly, I think the third act of this movie is just balls to the wall, crazy. It gets very dark. It gets very vicious and brutal. It's the deaths that you see, very visceral. It's just very dark and it shocks you. You don't see this coming. It's just a very fantastic, overlooked hidden gem that I don't see a lot of people talk about in horror chats anywhere. Little nitpicks that I would have is the casting directors and the producer. I just feel like their performances are slightly hokey, just slightly over the top, dialed up a little too much. The guy reminded me, one of the casting directors very much reminded me of Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. His mannerisms, the way he spoke. I was just thinking of American Psycho the whole time when he was talking. And the other chick, I will say, kind of looks like Droopy. Just her face, the way it is. Not to be mean, but come on, am I the only one who thought that? So final thoughts, I think this is a terrific film to check out. It's unique. It has things to say. It's got meat on its bones. It's got something to chew on. It makes you stop and think. It's intriguing as hell. It's got a phenomenal actress in it. It's got bloody moments. It's got a crazy third act. A nice crescendo at the end. And a what the fuck just ending moments here and there that are just like, what? It's my type of movie. I love how crazy and weird this movie gets at times. So when it comes to Starry Eyes, I highly recommend that you go out and buy it. So, quick spoiler discussion. Let's get a little bit more in depth. So we meet this chick, right? Alex Essoe playing the main girl, Sarah Walker. So she has like an acting coach. She gets the script, and the script is kind of foreshadowing the end a little bit. You don't really get to see it, but it says something about like this chick named Chloe and how she looks like Chloe, but she's not really Chloe. I think it's foreshadowing her, like Chloe in that script is really her, and because towards the end it's like it's her, it looks like her, but it's not really her. She's changing. It's a movie about transformation, really, and how you're gonna have to kill your old self to become this new, famous version of you when you join this cult. It's a cult movie too. I didn't say that in my other section of the review because I didn't want to spoil that it is a cult movie, although you could probably put that together very quickly in the movie, especially when you got the whole stars over the eyes, the pentagrams. So we see that she works at Hooters, except it's called Big Taters, and the boss, I like his character too. He's kind of funny. He's got like that porn stash, and he's like, "Are you my taters girl? Are you my big taters girl?" It's like, I'm trying to run a business here. He's got like a picture of like Jesus's mom on his desk or some shit. So we see that she has like this habit of pulling her hair whenever she fails at something. She feels like she has to punish herself in some way, so she pulls her hair, and that's what gets her the role in this secret film of theirs, The Silver Scream. They're like, "We like you. We like that you're so committed and passionate about getting this part that you're willing to go bang your head in the bathroom stalls and pull your hair out." So this chick's already got like a screw loose before this transformation. So she quits her job. She's like fully confident that she's going to get this role. And then when she finally gets to the producer, well, first she gets the second audition, and that's what makes her quit her job. But when we get to the second audition, they're doing like this strobe light picture photo shoot thing, and like in between all the pictures you can see like she's got like vampire teeth and she's like bleeding from the mouth. It looks like she's being hypnotized or possessed. It's a very interesting scene. Makes you think like, what's going on here? I think this is what really gets the ball rolling, what makes her get crazier and crazier, and what starts the transformation slowly is this moment right here. So I don't think she was ever going to be the same again after this. So that's another thing I was kind of questioning, is like, how much control does she have after that? Like, all the things that she's doing towards the end, is it even up to her at that point? Because when she's killing her friends, before that, it seems like she's hesitant, like she doesn't want to do it. But there's voices in her head, and they're like trying to push her to do it, so she kind of caves in, and she wants the role. But she's like, "Don't touch me," to that bitchy friend who's constantly knocking her down, making her feel like she's not achieving shit. No matter what she does, she's like, "Well, it's not that good." It's like, whatever. It's like, you're overdressed. Like, her friend was a bitch. But her friend goes to touch her. She's like, "Don't touch me because it's going to set me off." And I just feel like it was an interesting scene. Like, does she want to kill them? Is she having any kind of control over her body at that moment? Is it too late? I mean, she's there. She didn't have to go there. So obviously, she's almost like a puppet, but almost I don't know. Is she a puppet? Is she a free agent? Is she walking around doing her own thing? The cult people are around. They're watching her, because when she kills all her friends, the cult people are already there. Like, they've been secretly watching. So there's definitely supernatural elements to this movie, and it just makes you question and stop and think. And it's very intriguing. So lots to digest here, lots of things to analyze. That's what I like in this movie. So yeah, it seems like she's possessed. She goes to the second audition. We see like the pentagram necklace that one of the casting directors has. A little subtle thing that's a clue that she's completely different now, that she's not the same Sarah Walker, is that her friend hurts her face and busts her nose, and she just laughs about it. Like, she's laughing at the sight of pain. It's just another interesting moment. It's like, now she likes seeing pain and blood on her friends that she doesn't even like. But then this is when she finally meets the producer, and the producer says, like, you can have your name on the poster. Your face is going to be on the poster. You'll be on the marquee. Your movie in the theaters. You can have your name on a star, in Hollywood. All you got to do is basically let me fuck you. You got to let me touch you. You got to blow me. But she's like, nope. Because she's still technically a free agent at this point. I don't think she's full on being controlled, because if she was being controlled by these cult people, she would have just blown him, because she would have had no other choice. But she has free will at this point still. But she comes back later on and she does blow him. And after that, that's when the transformation really starts happening. She wakes up, Her hair is missing. It's all falling out. And she's got like a bald spot going on. Her mouth and her nose are getting all red. It just chapped and just ugly looking. Her teeth are bleeding. Her fingernails are coming off. There's something moving around her stomach. What the hell was that? What was that supposed to, symbolize? What was that inside of her? I didn't really get a good look at it. So is there an Antichrist in her, or is that like, that's the other, like, Sarah Walker inside being born? Maybe that's what it is. Like, because this movie is about her old self dying. And that's why she's so, like, that's why she's dilapidated. She's getting decrepit and just falling apart like a corpse. She pukes maggots. So it's like she's dead, but alive at the same time. She's a walking corpse. Her old Sarah Walker self is now dead since she blew that guy and sold her soul to the devil. So it's like she's got the new, future Sarah Walker in her stomach at that point. That one scene was just humiliating when she has to like try to beg for her job back at that Hooters place. And then that's what kind of makes her realize, like, fuck it, I'm selling my soul to work at this shitty rundown restaurant that just exposes women. It's all about our boobs. It's not even about the food. The food sucks. People just come here to see our big taters. She's like, I'm selling my soul already, so I'm just going to go blow that guy. So I like that little explanation we get. It helps you understand why she's just like, fuck it. Like, I'll go do it. There's another interesting moment in the movie where one of the friends is like videotaping her. Like, she's feeling sick, so he starts videotaping because he thinks she's about to puke. And because she's being filmed, she starts like strip teasing. She's like pulling up her shirt. It's like whenever there's a camera around now, since she's like possessed, this is after she blew the producer, and it's slowly changing. And none of her friends seem to think it's weird that her nose and mouth are kind of jacked up. Like, they never question, like, why is your nose red? Why is your mouth looking weird? You got some kind of fucking STD? What's going on with you? They never bring it up. So, but because she's being filmed, it's like, that other Sarah Walker in her is coming out. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm the star. Put me in the spotlight. And then because the friend's like helping her out, like stopping him from filming her, she pushes her away, like, stop it, I want to be filmed. And then she goes to kill her friends, basically. But like I said earlier, it's like, is she in control anymore? It just seems like there's this tug of war inside, this internal battle, like old Walker versus the new Sarah Walker. Because her friend goes to help her, which I thought was odd. I mean, I thought this friend did not like her at all. She's such a bitch. But when she sees how disturbing she looks, she's like, well, yeah, I get you to a hospital. I was like, oh, you actually do care about her? I thought you hated her guts. So I guess she's not as bad as I thought. But because she touches her, she starts stabbing her. She slices her cheek wide open, blood just oozing out. And then she kills the other chick in the bedroom. She picks up like this 10-pound dumbbell and just starts banging her head again and again and again. Like, 2-3 times was enough. She was dead at that point. But then she does it like 6 or 7 more times. To her head, it's just nothing but a bloody, mushy mess. It is just disgusting looking. It's awesome. It's just a very vicious, mean-spirited kill. Like, that's the chick that busted her nose earlier, and now her face is completely busted. I guess that's the irony there, right? She busted her nose, and now her whole face is busted. And then the boyfriend sees it, stabs him a bunch in the back. She never goes for the throat for some reason. She just starts stabbing in the back again and again and again. The other chick that she stabbed in the stomach is still crawling away, bleeding out, puts the bag over her head. And I like that she you don't get this in enough movies, but it's in Terrifier. The victim actually trying to rip a hole in the bag, but I guess her fingers are all like soaked in blood, and the bag got slippery because of it, so she couldn't really tear it. Plus, she was weak at that point from all the blood loss. But she at least tried to tear a hole. And then, because she's killed her old life, her old friends are dead, she can start anew. She made the ultimate sacrifice. Now she could join the cult officially. They put her in the ground. She's reborn, starting anew. She's going to be a freaking star. She's got green eyes, which I think is, symbolism for money. Like, because that's all she sees. That's all she wants, is that fame and glory and money attached to being a famous actress. So that's kind of how I see that. Like, I don't understand why the eyes need to be green if that's not what it means. Like, what do you think the green eyes symbolize? What's it mean? To me, it's just like she sees money. Like, it's all about the money, the fame. Or it could just be that she's a new Sarah Walker, so she's got to have new eyeball colors and shit. Like, I don't know. So, and then she's like hypnotizing her friend. It seems like she's got her locked in this like spell, and she's like, come into bed. And then she lies down in bed. She's like fixated on her eyes, just staring. Was she puking blood into her mouth, or was she French kissing and then like ripped her tongue out? And then we see she starts dressing up. She puts on a wig. She's dressing up like all her idols that she has pictures of on the wall. She's basically becoming them. She's finally reached that status. She's a star now. She's a cult member too. She's got the star on her necklace. And now she's just like all those other people she's looked up to. She's finally made it. She reached her goals. All she had to do was sacrifice some people along the way. She had to make some sacrifices, and that's what it takes to make it, I guess. That's the message. So, fantastic movie. Really like it. So, the Mr. Hat Award for Best Kill is that dumbbell kill. What a fantastic, brutal kill that was. And the Mr. Twig Award for Lamest Kill will be the boyfriend in the hall who gets stabbed in the lower back about 20 times and bleeds out. And the Clap Award for Best Scene is the scene where she goes and kills all her friends. It's a very nail-biting, gripping scene. It's fantastic. I just love all that shit. It's balls to the wall crazy. She's taking them all out left and right. And those are my thoughts on Starry Eyes. What did you think about this movie? What did you take from it? Can you explain some things that maybe I didn't understand? I had some questions along the way. So I'm sure you guys will tell me where I was wrong, or tell me how you see the movie, what the message is, and all that stuff. Let's talk about Starry Eyes. Put your comments in the comment section below. And as always, if you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button, share it with all your friends, and become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.